Hello everyone, welcome back to the Analyst by Vajiram and Ravi, dated 2nd June 2024. Today, we will be discussing some important topics that has appeared in today's The Hindu and The Indian Express newspapers, which are very relevant for your exam. The first topic is an important aspect of internal security, that is rising cases of cyber crimes and its reasons and other related aspects. In our second topic, we will try to look into the status of mangrove cover in India. Then in our next topic, we will try to look into different grades of coal that are present in India. In our next topic, we will try to learn some basic details about an important personality, that is Thiruvalluvar. Then in our next topic, we will try to decipher some basic details about an important government scheme, that is Agnipath Scheme. Then at the end, we will try to look into some prelims snippets which will help you in excelling your prelims exam. So stay tuned. So our first topic is cyber crimes. The context of this particular topic is that recently, few days back, a Noida resident was duped of a large sum of money by some unidentified persons. So this particular topic pertains to syllabus of your GS3, challenges to internal security through communication networks and basics of cyber security. So first, let's try to understand some background of this topic. As per I4C, which stands for Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, which is a body under Ministry of Home Affairs which does all the coordination work between different agencies related to the cyber crime incidents. So as per this I4C, almost 7,061 crore has been lost in just first 4 months of 2024, which shows the lot of economic loss that is happening due to the cyber crimes. Then I4C again says that in year 2024, they have received almost 7,40,000 complaints in the first 4 months itself. Then, as per the data of Delhi Police, from year 2022 to 2023, there has been almost 212% increase in cyber crime related incidents, especially crime related to the banking frauds, UPI related transactions and other things. Apart from this, there is a cyber security firm named CyberArk, which says that they have surveyed most of the government companies, most of the government institutions, most of the Indian organizations, and they found that almost 91% of Indian organizations have time and again faced some kind of ransomware or malware attack in the past. I want to draw your attention towards this map, which shows that the cases per million are very high in states like Karnataka and Telangana. The reason are that some of the IT cities like Bangalore and Hyderabad situated in these states, and that makes them vulnerable for these cybercrime related incidents. Apart from this, the Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka and Maharashtra are some of the top states which have been victim of these cyber related incidents. Now, we'll try to know what are the reasons for increasing cyber crimes in India. The first and most important reason is the technological reasons. With the technological advancement and coming of new technologies like dark web, cryptocurrency and technologies like AI, Internet of Things, it has become more easier for those perpetrators to conduct these cyber related frauds, cyber related incidents. So with the coming of technology, more benefits are getting by the people, but they are also serving lot of loss to the people, and that is one form is seen in the cases of cyber related incidents. Then another aspect is that India is majorly import dependent for various equipments that are being used in India for other countries. Now, for example, in 2022, there was an attack on SolarWinds, which is an US software based company, and this company is one of the important client of major government agencies like NIC, etc. So when there was an attack on SolarWinds, it also affected various government websites, various government organizations. So that shows our vulnerable conditions due to our dependence on the imports for different countries, where we import our equipments from different countries. Then there are social reasons. What are those social reasons? For example, with increasing population and there is low education and low employment opportunities are there is further poverty that increases in the society. And when there is poverty, people look for some easy money from where they can get money easily. Now then there are some peer group motivation. For example, there are some districts like Jamtara, and Nuh. Jamtara is situated in Jharkhand and Nuh is located in Haryana. Now, these districts have been some of the important locations from where various cyber related incidents were happening. There it has been seen that there has been high incidence of poverty and unemployment in these particular districts. Now what happens, some of the youths who were not well educated, not well employed and somewhat poor have attracted towards these cyber related incidents. Now when they got easy money, they started building houses, they bought new vehicles, and that provided a motivation to other youths for that easy money. And that this particular cycle continued, and now this education, low employment, high poverty rate and peer group motivation is leading to increasing cases of cyber crimes. Then there are economic reasons also. As again I have said that these cyber related incidents provides easy money. So that kind of thing proves to be a motivation factor, and that helps in increasing the cases of high incidences of cyber related issues. Apart from this, as quoted by Oxfam report and World Inequality report, India is one of that country where there is very high rate of inequality and high rate of poverty as shown by the multidimensional poverty index. So that also creates a cycle where people are more attracted towards these cyber related incidents or cyber related crimes to get out of that cycle of unemployment and poverty. Then there are political reasons also. Mainly most of these cyber related incidents many times are transnational in nature. What does it mean? Means the server or the person who is committing this crime is located outside India. So it becomes very difficult to prosecute that person, to get hold of that person. Then there are legal reasons also. First is that there is no comprehensive law to tackle the menace of cybercrime at present in India, and there is lack of procedural courts also. So that also affects the proper execution of various laws in related to the cybercrime related incidents. Then what are the various effects of rising cases of these cybercrimes? First is economic loss. Another cybersecurity firm named Red Echo had revealed they have made allegations that a China-linked APT group had targeted 10 entities in India's power sector with the malware in past few years back, and they have attacked several locations in India, not just one station or one power station, but they have attacked various power station, power grid and various dispatch centers. So that led to reduced industrial activities. When there will be no power, there will be power outrage, the industrial activities has affected. The stock market has also somewhat affected, and that led to economic losses in various parts of country. Then it also leads to loss of dignity and privacy. For example, few years back there has been attack on server of AIIMS. Okay, now if suppose there is Mr. A who is the patient and he have consulted some doctors in AIIMS. Now his information, his data regarding his history of various diseases, his personal information, his biometric information may be saved in the server of AIIMS, and when that will be compromised, it might lead to undermining of dignity and privacy of those people who were taking help from the various doctor in the AIIMS. So cybercrime related incidents may lead to loss of dignity and privacy of people. Then it also undermines democracy. Few years back when there was presidential elections going on in US, there were various deep fake videos that was going on of Mr. Trump, and that was affecting the ongoing elections in the US. So that also in a way we can say affect our democracy, undermine our democracy. Let's take very example from India. Let's suppose a person A was contesting elections from your constituency. Recent Lok Sabha elections are going on and they have been concluded, and result will come on 4th June. Let's suppose if a person is contesting election from your constituency, and now a deep fake video of that person by doing some illegal activities or doing some illegal gambling etc. has came up, and that will affect your opinion about that person. So that might undermine the democracy. Then there was a deep fake video regarding Ukrainian president during the Russia-Ukraine war also. So these things undermines the democracy because the opinions of the people are getting affected through these cyber crimes, through these deep fake videos, artificial intelligence related videos. Then they may also create law and order issues. Okay, for example, a fake news regarding any particular religion, race or caste has been spread. Now this may create riots, and that can create a challenge for the police officers, that can create a law and order situation. So cybercrime related incidents can also create law and order situations. Then it can undermine sovereignty and integrity also. How? For example, there has been an attack on Kudankulam nuclear plant. There has been also some allegation that there has been some security compromise related to the BrahMos missile of India. So these important infrastructure are very important for sovereignty and integrity of India, for security concerns of India. So if there is a cyber attack is happening on this, it might compromise the security of India, sovereignty and integrity of India. So what are the current provisions on cyber security at present? First is IT Act 2000, and it was amended in 2008, which provides and various sections under which a person who is committing cyber crimes may be prosecuted. Then there is National Cyber Security Policy 2013, which provides various objectives of this cyber related incidents, how we can tackle that, how we can reduce that. Then this also ensures various do's and don'ts that we can follow. Then there is Computer Emergency Response Team, which is under the Ministry of Information and Technology, MITI, which is the first responder in case of any cyber attack on any government organization or other places. Then there is Indian Cyber Crime Coordination Center, I4C, which is a body under Ministry of Home Affairs or MHA, which provides a coordination and provides an ecosystem where different law enforcement agencies like state police forces and other agencies can coordinate in a comprehensive manner to tackle the menace of these cyber crimes. Then there is National Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Center or NCIIPC, which ensures that all the critical information infrastructure are saved, are protected. What are critical information infrastructure? These are those infrastructure which are very important for the sovereignty of India to properly execute all the economic activities in India. For example, let's suppose BSc or NSC server is getting attacked. The server of UIDAI is attacked. So these are some of the critical information infrastructure. Okay, if that is getting affected, let's suppose if the server of UIDAI is affected, there are lot of transactions that are going on related to the Aadhaar by the help of Aadhaar, that might get affected. Lot of authentication, verification, biometric verification that is going to happen, that will be affected. So NCIIPC helps in ensuring that all the critical information infrastructure remains tackled, remains comprehensively ensured in a proper protected format. Then what should be the way forward? The first, what should be the future course of action? The first is India should consider joining Budapest Convention on Cybercrime, which will help India in tackling various crimes which are transnational in nature. Then there can be budgetary allocation to tackle properly the menace of cyber crimes. In our budget, we can completely dedicate some funds to address the issues of the cyber crimes. Then there is need for stricter enforcement of all the regulations. There has been some incidences where the state legal enforcement agencies has been very lax in enforcement of various regulations if it is related to the cyber crimes. So many of the states have set up special police stations related to the cyber crime. So there is need for more such ways where we can tackle this issue. Then there is need for focus on basic cyber security habits. This we should inculcate in ourselves, that basic cyber security habits like lock your computer while leaving, verify every request that you are getting on different social media websites, then update everything, whether it is computer, whether it is software, whether it is your antivirus software, everything update at a regular interval of time. Then always look before you click. Whatever the link you are getting on your emails or any of the apps, always verify that link and then click on that. Then there is need for maintaining proper password hygiene, that you keep updating your passwords at a regular interval of time. Don't share your passwords with anyone. Then always keep regular backup of all the data that you have. That will help in ensuring that all you are prevented from the various cyber crimes, and it will help in minimizing the cyber related incidents. Now, some of the previous year questions from this topic. It was asked in year 2017. In India, it is legally mandatory for which of the following to report on cyber security incidents? The first is service providers, second is data centers, and third is body corporates. It is important for each one of them to report whenever they are facing any of the cyber crime related incidents. Then one mains question that you can practice from this topic that was asked in year 2017 is discuss the potential threats of cyber attack and security framework to prevent it. Now, our next topic is mangrove cover in India. The context of this particular topic is that recently Tamil Nadu Forest Department has formed 20 village panels to protect the mangrove cover in that particular state. This topic pertains to syllabus of your GS3, conservation, environmental pollution and degradation. So let's try to understand some basics of mangrove. They are unique forests with salt tolerant trees that thrive mainly in the salty and coastal waters. As per the Indian State of Forest Report 2021, in India almost 4,992 square kilometer of mangrove cover is present, which comes almost 0.15% of total geographical area of India. Now I want to ask a question to you people. You tell that this Indian State of Forest Report ISFR is released by whom, and does it comes every year or every 2 years or every 5 years or every 10 years? So two questions. ISFR 2021 is released by whom, and it is a biannual report or annual report, or it comes after 3 years or after 5 years. Comment your answers in the comment box. Then what are the different characteristics of mangroves? First is viviparity mode of reproduction. What does it mean? Means the germination of seeds that is happening in the trees itself, rather than the seed falling on the ground and then germinating. Why is it happening? Because if the mangrove seeds will come down, it will come in that salty water and it will not give that conducive environment to that seed to germinate properly. And that's why seeds of the mangrove trees are germinated on the trees itself, and that is why this is a special characteristics of mangroves, that they have viviparity mode of reproduction. Then they also secrete excess salt through their leaves, and they also absorb low salt through their roots. This is also a important characteristics of mangroves that helps them thrive in that coastal and salt waters. Then they also have special roots like prop roots and pneumatophores. What does it mean? Means some of the roots lie outside the soil. Means to get proper air, proper oxygen from the atmosphere, these roots always, some of the roots lie underwater and some of the roots lie outside the water, outside the soil, means in the atmosphere, to get proper oxygen. So these were the some of the three characteristics of the mangrove. Now let's see the distribution in India. Most of the coastal states, you can see, have some or other quantity of mangroves present in India. If we want to categorize in the descending order, the West Bengal have highest mangrove present as per the ISFR report. It have almost 2,114 square kilometer, and then we have Gujarat, then Andaman and Nicobar Island, and Andhra Pradesh, and subsequently other states. So what is the significance of mangroves? First of all, it provides biodiversity support. It provides unique habitat for different plants and animal life. It provides conducive environments, proper breeding centers to these important plant and animal life. For example, in Sundarbans, we have lot of mangroves, and they provide shelter to an important species, that is Royal Bengal tiger, and other species like Irrawaddy dolphin and leopard cats. Then it also provides coastal protection, means it acts as a natural buffer against the coastal threats like erosion, storm surges and tsunamis. This just we have seen that this prop roots, this also help in getting that defense against the high tide waves and the tsunamis waves, etc., that often comes onto the shores. Then it also helps in carbon sequestration, means it helps in capturing and storing large amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere in their biomass and sediments. Then it also provides fisheries supports, lot of aquaculture, whether it is shrimp farming, fish farming. This mangrove area also provide a proper rich availability of fish and shrimps, so that help in getting a proper income to the farmers who are mainly dependent on the aquacultures. And then it also improves the water quality because it acts as a natural filter. Whatever the pollutants are there in the, what are the excess nutrients are there in the coastal waters, so they act as a natural barrier, natural filter. Okay, so this increase in improving the quality of water. Then they also help in increasing the tourism in that particular state or that particular area. So they have a high tourism potential. There are opportunities for ecotourism, bird watching and natural exploration, means mainly in these mangrove area the scenic beauty is very good, that helps in getting lot of tourists in that state, that areas, that help in getting a value to the people surrounding, and that helps in improving the standard of life who are people who are mainly dependent on these mangroves. Then what are different challenges regarding the mangroves in India? First is the climate change dual threat. What are the two dual threat? First is the sea level rise. As the global warming is happening, temperature is rising, glaciers are melting, it is leading to a high sea level, and that is affecting the proper conducive environment for mangroves. Then the extreme weather condition, that means the increasing cases of cyclones, okay, tsunamis. Then all these are also affecting the mangroves, because whenever a cyclone comes, it affects the mangroves, its roots are uprooted and that disturbs that mangrove ecosystem. Then there is also loss of habitat through different anthropogenic activities like unsustainable agricultural practices, then unsustainable urbanization, fishing, shrimp farming, port development, etc. So there has been incidents where for expanding the urban infrastructure, for doing a port development, for increasing the agricultural fields, for doing shrimp farmings and various aquaculture, there has been instances where the areas of mangrove have been encroached. So that is also one of the major challenge for the mangroves in India. Then the pollution, okay, all the chemicals that are being used either in the form of fertilizer, pesticides, or that are coming from the industries, that is also affecting the proper conducive environment, proper thriving of the mangroves in India. Then the management challenges, there is lack of proper enforcement of the regulation. There are mainly two regulations that look into the proper management of the mangroves. One is the Environment Protection Act 1986 and the Coastal Regulation Zones or the CRZs. So there has been instances where there is no proper enforcement of these regulations, and time and again various courts have also intervened where they have emphasized on proper implementation, proper enforcement of regulations that are there in place. Then there is need for segregated management. Generally it is seen that the management of coral reefs and sea grass beds are seen in context of the mangroves itself, means all the management, whether it is of mangroves, whether it is of coral reefs, whether it is of seagrass, all seen at one place, whereas there is need for complete dedicated focus on the mangroves itself, so that a proper protection can be provided to the mangroves. Then what are different government initiatives regarding the mangrove protections? In the Union Budget 2023-24, there has been a new dedicated scheme that has been launched to provide proper protection to the mangroves in India. The scheme is named as MISTI, which the full form of which is Mangrove Initiative for Shoreline Habitats and Tangible Incomes, which the scheme will help in mangrove plantation along with the coastline and salt pan lands. So this will help in people who are mainly dependent on mangroves, that those people get proper support, proper hand holding from the government, so that sustainably we can protect the mangroves. Then another scheme named SAIME, which the full form of which is Sustainable Aquaculture in Mangrove Ecosystem, which is a initiative mainly to look into the shrimp farming to sustainably focus on the aquaculture, so that without compromising the earnings of the farmers, the mangroves can be sustainably protected. Now, what should be the way forward? The first is there is need for strengthening the existing regulation, whether the regulation are related to the under the Environment Protection Act, under the CRZ regulations, coastal regulation zone regulations. There is need for all the state authorities and central authorities to properly implement these regulations. Then there is need for promotion of sustainable aquaculture practices. Time and again, due to some money constraint, financial constraints, the farmers are going for unsustainable fishing practices like use of various plastic nets, etc. That hampers the protection of mangroves, that affects the plants of mangroves. So there is need for improving the various sustainable practices. There is need for awareness of those sustainable practices that can help in protection of mangroves, especially related to the aquaculture and fish farming. Then there is need for community engagement, okay, whether it is farmers, whether it is civil society organizations or various NGOs, etc. So there is need for proper stakeholder participation, there is need for awareness generation, and there is also need for promotion of alternative livelihood options for the people who are mainly dependent on these mangroves, these aquaculture practices. Then there is also need for increasing the research on mangroves, and there is need for further techniques that we can innovate for the protection of the mangroves. So this was a question in 2019 in your mains that discuss the cause of depletion of mangroves and explain their importance in maintaining the coastal ecology. So this mains question you can practice. And another prelims question that has been asked in year 2015, which one of the following regions of India has a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest and deciduous forest? The D option, Andaman and Nicobar Island, was correct here. Now our third topic is grades of coal. The context of this topic is there has been allegation in some report that a private group have imported low grade coal and sold them as a high grade coal to few power generation companies. This particular topic pertains to syllabus of your UPSC prelims Indian geography and syllabus of your GS paper 1 distribution of key natural resources and syllabus of your GS3 mineral and energy resources and energy security. So what is a coal? Coal is a fossil fuel which is a mixture of carbon, ash, moisture and a host of other impurities like sulfur, etc. The gross calorific value or the amount of the heat or energy that can be generated from burning the coal determines the gradation of coal, whether that is a high end coal or a low grade coal. Okay. So if the high availability of carbon is there in 1 unit of coal, it means the high grade of coal, high purity of coal. For example, there has been 4 types of coal: peat, lignite, bituminous and anthracite. So peat is a low grade coal, whereas anthracite is a high grade coal. Under peat, it is a partially decayed plant matter in swamps and bogs, and there is very low heat content. We can say this is youngest kind of coal present in India, present everywhere. Then if you see there is very low heat and carbon content in this peat, and the moisture content is very high in this peat, and that's why it becomes very difficult to deduce proper heat from this peat coal. Then there is lignite, which is also called as brown coal, which is also have a low heat content but a rather high heat content as if you compare with the peat, and the sulfur content is also low in this lignite, and it is mainly limited in supply in most of the areas. Means in most areas there is limited supply of this lignite coal. This bituminous is called the soft coal. Okay, it is extensively used as a fuel because of its high heat content. It have a high heat content if we compare it with the peat and lignite, and there is sufficient supplies of bituminous kind of coal is available throughout the world and is in India also. Then it normally has a high sulfur content. under this bituminous. If we move towards the anthracite from peat, the heat and pressure is increasing. Okay, and why this is increasing? Because of the more time that it is spending under the pressure and heat of the earth. Then the last is anthracite, which is also called as hard coal, which is highly desirable fuel because of its high heat content and low sulfur content, but supplies are limited in most areas. So this anthracite kind of coal is generally very desirable kind of coal, which is very high. It can be also called as coking coal, which is mainly used in steel making, but the supplies of this anthracite kind of coal is very limited. Now, if we want to look into the distribution of these coal in India, then anthracite, which have almost 80 to 95% of carbon, can be related to the Gondwana times, which is almost 250 million years ago. Only some small quantities are available in Jammu and Kashmir regions. Then there is bituminous type of coal, which have almost 60 to 80% carbon content, which is related to the tertiary time, which is almost 50 to 60 million year ago. Okay, so Jharkhand, Odisha, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, some of the areas, these major areas have these availability of bituminous type of coals. Then there is lignite, which have only 40 to 55% of carbon, and some areas of Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Jammu and Kashmir have these presence of lignite type of coal. Now the last and the lowest grade of coal, peat, which have less than 40% of carbon content, it is not applicable because it is just the early stage of carbon formation. It is not considered as a industrial used coal. So that's why there is no such applicable so that distribution can be seen under the different locations of India. So what are the various issues relating to the coal mining in India? The first is uneven coal distribution. The coal is mainly concentrated in some of the areas of the Gondwana land and northeastern states. So it becomes very difficult to extract the coals from those areas, and especially the transportation becomes very expensive. And when the mining is expensive and subsequently the transportation is more expensive, it becomes the extraction and the price of coals very high, and ultimately these prices are borne by the ultimate consumers. Then there is poor transportation and infrastructure. As we have just discussed, that most of these coal mines are situated in the northeastern states, whereas there is no proper road transportation, there is no proper railway transportation, which is most important in the coal mining, coal extraction. So that leads to an high cost of transportation. Then we are generally using outdated mining techniques at this point of time, where focus is more on manual labor and techniques like open pit method, where a pit is done on the ground and coal is extracted. So this is a kind of defunct technique that is not being followed in the most of the developed countries, and we are still following that outdated technique, and that leads to increased cost of mining. It also reduces the extraction or the efficiency of extraction through which we can do that extraction. So this outdated technique is also one of the major issues in the coal mining in India. Then when we use this outdated techniques, it is leading to high production cost, and there are safety hazards for the miners and the workers. Few years back there has been incident where there has been a mine collapse in Meghalaya. So that has also emphasized on the points that these outdated techniques can be very hazardous for the people or for the manual laborers. Then it is also leading to environmental damage. Okay, many of the times what happens, after the completion of this extraction of open pit coals, there is a general technique that the company have to fill proper sand and etc. other things, but they do not do that thing. Means this unsustainable open pit method is being done, and there is the other things that are being generally said by the government, that you have to also fill this gap, fill this pit, that they are not doing. So that is leading to soil erosion. Okay, then for getting coals, there are several instances where the land that has been acquired has been done after the deforestation, etc. So with the coal mining, there has been various incidences of environmental damages also. Apart from this, after extraction of coal, the coal as a fossil fuel, when it is being used, there are various hazardous gases like nitrous oxide, sulfur dioxide, etc., that are coming in the atmosphere, okay, that are leading to high pollution, and it is affecting our lungs, leading to various diseases like asthma, etc. They are also causing different diseases related to the respiratory problems. Then other issues that particularly related to the private sector when they are doing that carbon mining is that there are delay in obtaining clearances, okay, whether it is environmental clearances or forest clearances, okay. This also emphasizes on the point that there is a lot of red tapeism in India, and this complex structure of bureaucracy, red tapeism, where it gets very difficult to get timely environmental and forest clearances, it increases the cost of mining, because that mining gets delayed and the cost of that, in a way we can say, extraction of coal, mining of coal shoots up. So this significant delay hinders the production that has been allocated to those private companies. Then there has been some allegations, there has been some reports by some experts, etc., that the poor quality of blocks are being allocated to the private sector. So the private players who are mainly doing captive mining, there has been allegations, there has been some reports that they have been allocated some lower quality blocks, whereas the carbon content is very low. What does it mean by captive mining? The captive mining means the mining that is being done by those companies who will extract coal for their personal use. Okay, let's suppose there is company NHPC which is generating electricity. Now, if it is generating electricity through thermal power plant, so they will need coal for the production of that electricity. So government what said that instead you don't buy it from any other companies, we are allocating one mine to you and you extract coal from there, but you will not sell that coal in the open market or to another people, rather you will use that coal for the generation of electricity through thermal power plant only. So captive mining means where mining is being done by any company for the specific use rather than for open sale in the market. So the issue was that there has been allegation by some companies that the coal blocks that has been allocated to them has offered low quality of coals. Then there is unscientific division, means generally the coal blocks that are being allocated to different companies, there is no as such clear criteria that what is the method that will be following for the exploration, for the allocation of those blocks. So it leads to further difficulty to different companies and for government also, because this hampers the resources of the government, it hampers the resources that government can get from those private companies. So what should be the way forward? First is there is need for enhancing transparency, means all the data regarding the production figures, regarding the environmental impact assessment, regarding social impact assessment, regarding the rehab plans and the financial data of the companies, they should publish periodically, so that a proper dispersal of information comes out and it leads to increasing transparency. Then there is need for stakeholder participation in policy formulation, whether it is employees, whether it is suppliers, whether it is customers, whether communities, whether NGOs, whether civil society organization, there is need for proper stakeholder participation in the policy formulation. It will help in getting more inclusive and broad based policy that will address majority of the issues of the people that are getting affected, whether it is about the private persons, whether it is about the people who are getting displaced, everyone will be taken care of. Then there is need for strengthening the rehab process, okay, means the people whose area is getting acquired for this coal mining, okay, let's suppose coal have been found in this area, but these people are living in this area. Now government is ready to relocate these people to at any other place. So there is need for that government is more compassionate, the private players are more compassionate, and these people who are being relocated, who are being migrated, get proper compensation, they get proper fair living conditions, and there is proper rehab plans have be given to these persons. Then there is also need for capacity building for sustainability, means there is need for effectively monitor and enforce environmental and social regulations that are there in place, whether it is Environmental Protection Act 1986, whether it is Air Pollution Act, whether it is Water Pollution Act. Okay, all these needs to be properly implemented, properly enforced, so that most of the issues related to the coal mining can be addressed. Now, one previous year question regarding this particular topic is that which of the following are the characteristics of Indian coal? First is high ash content, second is low sulfur content, and third is the low ash fusion temperature. First of all, as we have said that some of the coals that are majorly found in India have low carbon content, means they have high ash content. They also have a low sulfur content, but they have a high ash fusion temperature, not low ash fusion temperature. Means option A will be correct here, and 1 and 2 only is the correct option. A only is the correct answer of this particular question. Now, our next topic is about an important personality, Thiruvalluvar. The context of this is that PM, the Prime Minister of India, has recently paid his tribute to Thiruvalluvar in his recent visit to Tamil Nadu. This particular topic pertains to syllabus of your UPSC prelims, current events of national and international importance, and paper of GS1 Indian culture. So, let's try to understand some basics about the Thiruvalluvar. He was an poet and philosopher, and who is regarded as a cultural icon by Tamils. He is fondly remembered as Valluvar by Tamils. He emphasized on the ill practices of the caste system. He dismissed the caste system. He was a non-advocate of caste system. He was against the caste system. One of the most popular work of Thiruvalluvar is Thirukural, which is a collection of couplets on ethics, politics, economy and love. Which contains almost 1330 couplets, which is called as Kurals in Tamil, and that are further divided into 133 sections and 10 couplets each. Means this Thirukural is divided into 133 sections, and there are 10 couplets in each section, which leads to 1330 couplets. And a few other things is that this Thirukural text is divided into 3 parts, where the 3 parts are majorly focusing on dharma, arth and kam, which means virtue, wealth and love. These couplets are composed in a concise and poetic forms, which helps in a better reading and better understanding of these texts, and it also helps in easily memorizing these texts, and we can also quote these texts in various academic works. The Thiruvalluvar Day is also observed, and at present usually it is observed on 15th or 16th January in Tamil Nadu, and mainly it is part of Pongal festival celebrations, and majorly it is at the end of Pongal celebration this Thiruvalluvar Day is celebrated. Now, our next topic is Agnipath Scheme, the context of which is that an opposition leader have written to the President of India to bring parity between benefits of Agniveers and regular soldiers. This particular scheme pertains to syllabus of your UPSC prelims, government schemes, and syllabus of your GS2, government policies and interventions. So, let's try to understand some basics of this scheme. Under this Agnipath scheme, the eligibility means the applicants from 17.5 years to 21 years can apply under this scheme. Then the recruitment will be under the respective service act for a service duration of 4 years, including the training period. In India, there is Indian Army, Indian Air Force and Indian Navy. So means these Agniveers will be recruited in all the 3 branches of Indian military, but there are different services, and for each services there is separate act made by the parliament. So these Agniveers will be subjected to these specific acts of these particular wings of the Indian militaries. Then there is a proper recruitment will be as per the terms and conditions of these service acts. Then there is proper training that will be provided, and these will be provided at the existing training centers. The service is to opportunity they will be getting to serve the nation. There is a proper composition that there will be this amount they will be getting in the first year, second year, and there is in the subsequent years. Then there is a Seva Nidhi, where the 30% of monthly emoluments of the individual will be contributed towards the Seva Nidhi, and equal amount will be matched and contributed by the government. Means 30% by the individual who is joining as a Agniveer and 30% by the government. And it will come to almost a corpus of 11.71 lakhs at the end of 4 years. Means the Seva Nidhi will consist of the part that has been contributed by the person or the Agniveer, and the part or the contribution made by the government. So that will be almost come to 11.71 lakhs, and this corpus will be exempted from the income tax. Apart from this, they will also get compensation in case of unfortunate death during the fields. Then they will also be getting some disability compensation in case of any permanent disability or the temporary disability they will be getting during their service period. Okay. On completion of their 4-year period, all the candidates will be entitled to the Seva Nidhi as discussed earlier, and they will also be granted the skill gained certificates, and this certificate will help in getting them further employment, future employments. Okay. So these the selections will be mainly centralized and transparent, and it will the Agniveers will have to go through the rigorous system of selections, centralized system, transparent system. So what are the benefits of this Agnipath scheme? The first is that it will help in bringing down the average age profile of Indian Armed Forces by almost 4 to 5 years. Means what the reason for which is that because the applicants are majorly in that age bracket of 17 and half to 21 years, and when the majorly the applicants are of lower age, this will help in bringing down the age profile of Indian Armed Forces by almost 4 to 5 years. Then it is providing financial security to these Agniveers in the form of Seva Nidhi package, and it is also provide the various compensation or the insurance in case of unfortunate death or in case of the disability during the service period. Then there is also rehabilitation by the government after 4 years. Means government will be taking up 25% of these Agniveers in the regular army, and the government have promised that some of the skill gained certificate that they will be getting, okay, they might get some opportunity in various government jobs and various private jobs. But what are the various issues? First is that the technical training that they will be getting, that might get wasted. Means that this Agnipath, this Agniveer who is getting recruited, he will be giving training regarding guns, regarding bombs, regarding IEDs, regarding various other technical learnings. So if tomorrow this Agniveer is opening some business or is going to some other services, so there might not be the full utilization of that technical training that Agniveer have been given in that particular 4 years. So that technical training may get wasted. Then the pension benefits are unavailable. Means the pension benefits, there is no as such provision of pension benefits, they are just getting Seva Nidhi. So when a person is not having this social security benefit of pensions, so that might hamper their life in the old age scenario. Then there might be a case of frictional unemployment. Means what is frictional unemployment? Means unemployment which is generally seen when a person is changing his employment status or is looking for a job after resigning from one job. What does it mean? Let's suppose Mr. A was working in ABC Limited, and now he have resigned from this ABC Limited and he is searching for new job. After, let's suppose 10 days, he got a job in XYZ Limited. So this period of 10 days will be called as the period of frictional unemployment for that particular person. So the case of frictional unemployment will be, for example, after 4 years when that person will be looking for another job, so that person might not get job at a much faster pace. So there may be some time duration that he have to give to get that employment. So there may be a case that where for some time he have to suffer for the unemployment. So there might be a case of frictional unemployment in the case of Agniveers. Now we will be looking into some prelims snippets. The first topic is Zika virus, which is a virus transmitted by Aedes aegypti mosquito, and which is the same mosquito that transmits dengue and chikungunya. The names of Zika comes from the forest of Uganda, where the virus was first isolated in year 1947. Some other details that it can be transmitted through sexual intercourse as well, and in pregnant women this virus can be transferred from the mother to the fetus or the newborn child, and it can lead to several abnormalities like a case of microcephaly, where there is usually small heads of the children's, and other brain abnormalities in the babies. Then it can also lead to Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is a neurological disorder, and that can happen through this Zika virus, and that can lead to a cause of permanent paralysis in the people. So, is there any treatment or vaccine available for the Zika? No, there is no treatment or vaccine available for the Zika infection, where only the symptoms are treated. What are the various treatment? We have to call a doctor, take medication, take rest, and proper fluid, proper water should be taken to get properly hydrated. Then what are the preventive measures that we can take is that we can use insect repellents, we can all cover our beds, we can use mosquito nets and wear long sleeve shirts. Majorly, we should ensure that mosquito do not bite us. What are the major symptoms under this Zika is that headache, fever, joint pain and muscle pain, skin rashes are there. So there has been one question in 2017 year that has been asked from this particular topic, we can say. In the first option, it is saying in tropical region Zika virus disease is transmitted by the same mosquito that transmits dengue, which is correct. We have just discussed this. Sexual transmission of Zika virus disease is possible. This also we have seen just. So both the option 1 and 2 is correct, and C option is correct here. Now our next topic is speciation, which means a group within a species separates from other members of its species and develop its unique characteristics. It is a phenomena where a species, when it is separated from the other members of the group, and now it has developed a unique characteristic. Let's suppose there were 4 persons A, B, C and D. Now they all were living in Delhi. But due to some reason Delhi went to this person D, who was living with its A, B, C, D, now went to Canada. Now after going to Canada, that particular person D may change his food habits, may change his attires, may change his language, the way he was speaking. He may change his skin color might change due to the weather related aspect, climatic related changes that he is facing in the Canada. So when this person D was separated from its species, from its members that he was living in Delhi, now he have developed this unique characteristic. So this is what the phenomena of speciation is, that when this species is getting separated from other species, it is developing some unique characteristic, unique identities. So it is under the cuckoo birds, the article that was there in the Hindu today, it is emphasizing that cuckoo birds have a higher speciation rates, means there has been tendency that there is high speciation rate in the cuckoo birds, it has been seen. Why? Because these cuckoo birds lay their eggs in the nest of other birds, and in some species cuckoo chick, newborn chicks that are coming out from those eggs, kick the host young from the nest, and in some cases these cuckoo birds are reared alongside the host young. Means let's suppose this is a cuckoo bird, she have laid eggs in the nest of this particular bird, green bird. Now there might be a case that all these eggs which are there, now the chicks will be coming out of that eggs, they might throw away this green bird, or there might be a case that where this green bird is rearing the chicks of this cuckoo bird. So in this scenario, it will develop some unique characteristic related to that green bird rather than yellow bird, because it is being reared, it is being developed by the green bird. So whenever a species is getting separated from its own the previous species, it might develop some unique characteristic, and that is phenomena is known as speciation. Next is optical fiber based system. The railways have recently announced that they will install an optical fiber based system named intrusion detection system along the elephant infested line, that is 33 kilometer stretch in Kerala, where there is lot of population of elephants. So because there has been instances where due to the high population of elephants, they come on the tracks, railway tracks, and they get hit by the different trains, and that leads to death of elephant population. So the railways is planning to install this intrusion detection system, which will install an optical fiber based system which will help in detecting the presence of animals, whether it is big or small, through the vibration, and it will send real time alerts to the intrusion monitoring system, in intrusion monitoring cell. There will be no cameras on the IDS or the intrusion detection system, and it will only depend on the acoustics and the optics, means the vibrations that will happen, the signals that intrusion detection system will send, only that through which the intrusion monitoring cell will get the data, and they will help in detecting that intrusion, and that will be reduced. Next is the permanent representative to UN. The context of this topic is that recently India's first woman permanent representative to UN, Ruchira Kamboj, have retired after almost 4 decades of service. Now she was our permanent representative to UN at this point of time. So what does permanent mission to the United Nations means? It means that every member of the member state of the UN deputes a group of members in the UN who reports to the host country different of the things that are being done in the UN, and that is headed by one person, and that person is the permanent representative of UN. As per the Article 1 subclause 7 of Vienna Convention on the representation of state in their relation with the international organizations of a universal character, 1975, a mission of permanent character representing the state sent by the state members of an international organization to their organization is the permanent mission to the United Nations, and the person who is heading that is the permanent representative to UN. There are various other officers working under this permanent representative to UN. Time and again you would have seen there has been various replies that are being given by this permanent representative to UN on the various issues that are being flagged by the different members of the United Nations. So that was all from my side for the today's session. I hope you liked this session. All the very best for your exams. Thank you.